Hi guys, it's Laura from Doggy U, and today I'm going to do a little impromptu video. So impromptu that I don't even have anything to hold my phone up with, so I apologize for the shaking. But I wanted to talk a little bit about my power system and how I am powering my fridge when I travel across country with the Jackery Explorer 500. I'm going to just show you the setup, and then also we're going to do a little test to see how long it lasts for when I'm not driving. All right, let's get started. So as you all know, when I travel with my dogs, and my dogs eat a partially raw diet, and they do a lot of Kongs and a lot of different like fun, puzzly toy type things that require some type of freezing. So to accomplish the whole freezing thing, I use a Dometic fridge, and this is my third Dometic fridge that I've had based on which various ways that I've been traveling. This one's the 55. I'll link it down below, but it's a smaller fridge than the 75 that I was in love with my last van that had 2 compartments. This one only has 1 compartment, so it's gonna be freezer all the time kind of thing, but I need to find a way to power it. So basically what I do for a living is I am a guide dog trainer instructor, which means I travel all over the country quite a bit, and having some creature comforts with me and the food for my dog is important. So I need to find a way to power it when I wasn't driving. So basically you can plug that Dometic directly into your cigarette lighter while you're driving, but then once you stop driving, it stops having power. So to solve that problem, I bought a small little power system, the Jackery Explorer 500. Now this is a departure from what I had been using previously. I had used a Goal Zero 1000 for quite a while, which I really liked, but I'm not doing long, couple months in the van trips anymore, so I got something a little bit smaller. So today we're gonna test it out to see how long it lasts. Will it last like a full evening for me while I'm away? So right now it is 2:45 here in, where am I? Illinois? I'm close to St. Louis. So that's where I am right now. I just did like 16 hours of driving, which means the Jackery is all charged up, which is awesome because the Jackery can charge directly from the car. So you can have that plugged in while you're driving and then have the fridge plugged into that. What's cool about that for me is that this is a little bit older van, which means that I don't have like a lot of power sources to like charge my phone. There's only 1 cigarette lighter, a little USB charger, and that's it on here. So the Jackery also gives me some options for charging things while I'm driving. This is the first trip that I've really used it extensively on. So I wanna just show you the setup really quick. It's a little janky, but it totally works for what I need. Please excuse the messy van. I basically live out of it on the road. All right, so here is the Jackery system, and it's got a little input here. This is where I would go and charge it off of the cigarette lighter up front. And then it's also got a bunch of different options for power. So right now our DC power is on, which means I'm plugging my fridge into it. So here's my Dometic CFX55. Pretty simple fridge there. I set it so that the bottom is frozen, and this compartment over on the left always seems to not freeze as much. So for short periods, I'll put fruit and vegetables and stuff in it that I don't want frozen, and then put like this raw meat and bones and all that down at the bottom where it's gonna stay nice and cool for the dogs. So you can see right now that the compressor is running because we're outputting 40 watts and there's no watts coming in. So I actually unplugged the Jackery from the charging port. So it's totally unplugged, and that means that when I turn this car on to leave this bike trail later, there won't be any power going to the Jackery, so it won't charge at all. My intention is to leave this until tomorrow and see where we're at, see how much power is used. Now, you will notice that I have already chilled the fridge. So as soon as I start driving, the fridge is plugged in, which means that it's chilling, not off the power of the Jackery. The Jackery is being charged, the fridge is chilling. So when I turn off the car and the Jackery is the only thing powering the fridge, it's already cooled down. Because with these Dometics, you are going to use a lot of power getting it down to the chill speed that you need. So when you do go to chill this, plugging it into your car or even preloading it in your house or putting frozen water bottles in it to start can really help with the power. So you can see right here, this is how you can see that it's on. It's at 21 degrees Fahrenheit, and That's where I'm going to keep it, 19, I guess, overnight. I guess opening that top made a little bit of a difference there. But that's where I want it to keep overnight with that raw meat in it. So we are going to sign off here for a moment, and we're going to see how this does. Oh, now the compressor's off and we've used 1% of the battery. But we're gonna see overnight how much battery it takes to run this fridge in between me driving. Let's do it. Just a quick note here, this is the setup that works for me. When I was living in a van for long periods of time, I needed something bigger, but for me, I drive around a lot, and being able to plug the Jackery in to charge it while I'm driving, it charges really, really fast. So I don't have to worry about having a bigger system for me. You might need something a little bit larger depending on what your style looks like, or you might want to get solar or anything like that. But I've found, even with my first van, that I drive around enough and I don't stay put very long that I'm able to charge any power source off of the car while I'm driving. Hi guys, it's 9 a.m. the next morning. I just went to Target and worked Lila and grabbed a couple things. So I'm just gonna throw those in the freezer. Right now it's the only time I'm opening it, and I'm gonna grab my water bottle. So let's just check our status. All right, it looks like we are collecting dust, but other than that, we're at 71%. Output is 1 watt currently. So I'm just gonna throw this stuff in, grab my water, and then we'll check back in at hopefully around the 24-hour mark. Here we go. All right, everyone, I know you've been just on pins and needles wondering what the results of this test are going to be. Before I give you the results for this 24-hour test of the Jackery 500 Explorer running the Dometic Fridge, I do want to mention, because someone commented on the last video, the temperature. So the temperature outside right now is 55. Overnight it was in the high 30s. I realized that depending on the temperature, the battery and the fridge are going to work harder, especially if it's hotter, but it is not hot here in Illinois, so this is the test we're doing. So without further ado, let's check it out. All right, so we're at 61% after 24 hours of use with the Dometic Fridge. So that's 38% if I'm doing my math right. They dropped 38 points during that 24 hours. So that's actually better than expected. So originally when I purchased this Jackery, I believe it said it would run a small fridge for 37 hours, and based on that test, it's going to run it for way longer than the 37 hours projected. It sounds like I would be able to at least run it for 2 days, which is really awesome. So that pretty much concludes my test. Yes, if it were hotter, it would probably last less amount of time. If it were cooler, it would probably last a little bit longer. But that gives you like a general idea of whether or not this particular battery would work for running your fridge. Now, as soon as you start plugging other things in, like charging your laptop or your phone or running a fan or whatever, obviously these results are going to change. But for my use of being able to drive frequently to re-up the battery, recharge the Jackery, it's going to work really, really well, hopefully long term for me, and it's nice and small and easy to carry, so I really like it. All right, so I'm gonna go hit the trail with the dogs. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have questions, put them down in the comments below. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel so that you get all of the new content, especially lots of camping content that's gonna come this summer. If you wanna support the channel, check out our Patreon at patreon.com/doggyu, where you can get lots of additional training and travel videos, tips, and a monthly Q&A. You guys have an awesome day. Happy training, safe travels.
Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for our next video. Subscribe now and never miss an episode.